everyone, it's Kim and welcome back to my channel. I am so excited because it is time for round number 3 of my board game, the TBR Cafe, the TBR game I play every single month. I'm really excited about this month because it is also Whatever-You-Want-A-Thon, which is a readathon hosted by Maddie at Book Browsing Blog. I will link below her announcement video for the readathon so you can check it out and see if you want to participate. It lasts the entire month of June. There's teams, there's prompts, there's ways to score points for your team, and it's going to be a blast. So definitely check it out. But now on to what I read in the month of May. Okay, so here are the 5 books that I finished this month, or in the month of May, and I enjoyed pretty much all of them in some capacity. There wasn't any that were like really horrible or anything. So first, let me start with Ready Player 2 as well as For Dead Queens. These two I was currently reading at the end of April and finished them in the month of May, but they were really good. I wish that there had been a bit more world building for For Dead Queens, as it is a standalone fantasy, and I think I just wanted just a little bit more, but it was really good and the twists and turns were really entertaining, and I definitely suggest checking this one out if you're looking for a good standalone fantasy, which is pretty hard to find. As for Ready Player 2, I was going in with some fairly high expectations due to absolutely loving Ready Player 1, and I'm not gonna lie, Ready Player 2 wasn't nearly as good as the first one, but overall I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I love all the nostalgia that comes with this book, and Ready Player 1 as well. So good. The next book that I read in the month of May was The Song of Achilles. I also read Circe by Madeline Miller as well. These two were for a book club, and while I enjoyed Song of Achilles, told from this brand new perspective of his lover, I enjoyed Circe a bit more, I think because of all the magical and fantasy elements in that story. It's just more my kind of book, but both of them were absolutely amazing, and I definitely recommend them. So now we are taking it to the stage with the Lieutenant of Inishmore. I loved this. I definitely love the show better. I feel like that's the case with most plays. Like, of course, they're going to be much better when they're on stage in the format you're meant to enjoy them in, but oh my gosh, this book is just absolutely hilarious, and I highly suggest if it ever comes back to Broadway or to a theater near you on stage, just go see it. It's highly entertaining and you're gonna love it. And the final book that I read this month was Everything Everything by Nicola Yoon. This was my first book by her, and I have absolutely enjoyed reading this. It wasn't my overall favorite contemporary I've ever read, but it was really cute and very interesting, and there was a twist that I did not see coming. I just wasn't expecting it at all. Like, I don't know where I thought it was gonna go, but the ending did surprise me. So definitely recommend checking this one out. It was overall a really fun, cute, interesting love story. Okay, the next one is something I started in May but will be finishing in June, and that is Rule of Wolves by Leigh Bardugo. I'm not too far into it, but I'm absolutely loving it. This is one of my most anticipated reads for this month, and I cannot wait to dive further into it, but it will be rolling over to June, and now that leads me into what's happening with the rest of my TBR. So here is the TBR that didn't get finished in May, or even started. So usually I would be rolling these over to the month of June, but because there is a readathon happening and it lasts the entire month, I've decided to hold these books off until July. So I'll be starting with a clean slate this round of the TBR game. Some of these may make their way into my TBR over the course of the month, depending on how it goes or how the rolls go. I may go ahead and add some of these in. But overall, we're starting with a clean slate for June, and we'll go back to this really big pile of books for July. So with that being said, let's get into the TBR and see what I'm reading for June and Whatever-You-Want-A-Thon. Okay, so before I get to roll number 1 and pick a book, I want to mention that I will be playing on Team Dreams and Drama Queens for the readathon. So that contains more like regular fantasy or magical realism, basically books that have fantastical elements but aren't considered high fantasy, if that makes sense. So let's see what I'll be reading. Roll number 1 is a 1. And we are going to start at the bottom. So 1 is a book, and our prompt is, read a book with a color in the title. I definitely have a few of those on my shelf, so we'll see which one I go with. So roll number 1 gave us, read a book with a color in the title. I'm very appreciative of this because it is broad, which means I can find some prompts for the readathon as well that'll work with this book. So let's look for some colors and titles. Okay, so I have found 3 books that'll work for this prompt. The first one is Black Wings Beating by Alex London. The second is Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey Mcquiston. And then the third is The Red Scrolls of Magic by Cassandra Clare and Wesley Chu. So all 3 of these also have LGBTQ plus rep, I believe. I believe they all do. I know that these 2 do, and I'm fairly certain that Black Wings Beating does as well. And we get bonus points in the readathon if we read LGBTQ plus books. So I'm gonna, as much as I want to read Red, White, and Royal Blue, I'm taking it out because these 2 I think are gonna match better with my team, which means I'll get bonus points because of genre. And I'm just like being really competitive with pretty much myself and wanting to get as many points as I can. So both of these are beginnings of series, so I'll be starting a new series no matter what. I think I'm gonna go with some like comfort characters for this readathon as well and read about Magnus and Alec because it's Shadowhunters. It's a world that I know, and I haven't read this book yet. So I'm gonna go with The Red Scrolls of Magic by Cassandra Clare and Wesley Chu. Roll number 2 is 2. We're gonna go 1, 2, and that is T. Choose 2 books and let Instagram vote. All right. So far, everything is pretty broad, which for doing a readathon is a really good thing. Okay, so roll number 2 has given us choose 2 books and let Instagram vote, which works out really well because one of the prompts for the readathon is a poll, and this is basically just that. So let's find 2 books, also very vague, so I can kind of choose what I want. So let's find 2 books and post on Instagram. I think the 2 books I'm going to put on to the poll are The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern and From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. One, because I just want to see what everyone picks because I know everyone loves both of these books as far as I can tell. This one has been a bit more popular lately. This one's an old favorite. So it'll be interesting to see what Instagram says I should read. So this is almost like just like a fun thing for me as well because I want to read both of these. And I'm not sure which one I'd want to read more. But they're like vastly different in what they're about. So let's see what Instagram thinks. I will post the poll, and then at the end of the video, I will let you know which book won. Roll number 3 is 1. And the prompt. Enemies to lovers. Yes, favorite trope ever. And we also have a coffee break. So let's see if our coffee break will be nice or if we're going to get no coffee at all. All right, so we're going to shake them up. And our coffee break is no coffee plus 1 additional roll. All right, so we'll have 6 rolls instead of 5. Roll number 4 has given us Enemies to Lovers, my favorite, and I mean my favorite book trope of all time. It could be a cliche at this point, but I do not care. It is too good. You can never go wrong with Enemies to Lovers, and I have no idea what I'm going to read for it because the first one that comes to mind that I haven't read is From Blood and Ash. But of course that's in the Instagram poll, so it may already get picked. So let's see. I might actually have to look at my shelves and see if I for sure have one I haven't read, or we may have to do a reread. So let's see. After some perusing of the shelves, I finally settled on reading Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey Mcquiston. This book is about the first son and the Prince of Wales and how they got some problems between each other, and there is some drama and there is also some damage control, and things happen, chaos and romance ensue. Yeah, so I've heard great things about this book and I cannot wait to dive into it in June. Roll number 5 is a 6. 1, 2, and the prompt is anticipated read. For roll number 3, we got anticipated read as well as a coffee break, which was plus 1 additional roll. So we'll be doing 6 books this month instead of 5. And yeah, so anticipated read. I don't really know. I feel like I've read, or I've either read or already like, or they're not out yet. So I have to think. I have one and I think I might pull it. It was in my TBR last month and the month before and I haven't gotten to it. So I might roll this one over and use it, but let me look at my shelves and see what else I might find. So I have found one that I think counts for my team's genre, and I've been wanting to read it ever since I learned about it, and that is the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. So I think I'm going to go with this one for the anticipated read prompt. Yeah. I don't know too much about what it's about, but I know when I read the summary or the synopsis last time, I thought it sounded good. And it was so good that I asked for it for Christmas, so it must be a good book, right? So yeah, we're gonna go with this one for anticipated read. Roll number 4 is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And our prompt is choose a short read under 300 pages. All right, perfect. Another really broad one, just as long as it's under 300 pages. Okay, so on to roll number 5. We have choose a short read under 300 pages. Another one that's like very vague, but man, is it hard to find books under 300 pages. So I'm gonna go see what I can find. All right, I found one. Super excited about it because I've been seeing this book everywhere. I already knew about it before that and wanted to read it, and then everyone else started reading it and I had to finally just go pick it up, and that is House of Holo by Crystal Sutherland. I've heard nothing but good things about this book. Also, the cover alone, like, I don't know what it is, but lately with covers like this reminds me so much of Horrid. I'm so excited for this book. So, and it's under 300 pages, just barely. It comes in at, without trying to like spoil anything, $2.92. So perfect for under 300 pages. So House of Holo. All right, and roll number 6. The final roll will be a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and our final prompt is read a cozy mystery. Okay, I have a few of those that I can definitely pick from. And finally, for our prompts for the TBR game, I have a couple that I'm going to throw on and tack on at the end because I need to read them, and that is read a cozy mystery. So I actually do have a few cozy mysteries that I need to read, so I'm going to go grab those. Okay, so for cozy mystery, I have Death by Coffee by Alex Erickson. This is the first book in a bookstore cafe mystery series. Yeah, so of course it's called Death by Coffee, which is perfect for this TBR game and myself. Like, that is the reason why I bought this book, was because it was called Death by Coffee. I also have the sequel, or the second book in the series, Death by Tea. So if I finish this one and it doesn't take me too long and I finish the rest of my TBR, I'll probably add this one on at the end. So yeah, so we have Death by Coffee for a cozy mystery. So for June, one of the books that I'm hoping to get read outside of the game is My Dark Vanessa by Kate Elizabeth Russell. This is my book club's pick for kind of like May/June. We kind of don't necessarily have a really great timeline on when we read books, but this is our current pick. And I'm very intrigued by this. It's going to be dark. It's going to be a lot because it definitely has a really big mental health undertone to it. It's, well, not even an undertone. It's about mental health. And I'm It's going to be a dark one, I think, but I think it's also going to be absolutely amazing. It's going to make you think, it's going to make you contemplate a lot of things, and I'm really interested in reading it, and I hope to get it read in the month of June. The other book that I'm hoping to get read outside of the game this month is A Season of Sinister Dreams by Tracy Banghart. This is her newest release. It comes out in June, I believe. I believe it comes out in June. And she's the author of Grace and Fury. That duology was so good, so entertaining, and I believe this is actually a standalone. So all-in-one fantasy, which is really great. We love a good standalone. And yeah, I cannot wait to read this one. So this is on the list. So I'm hoping to get to this one as well. Okay, so poll update. I have put this poll up in a few places now just to get a quicker estimate of what I think is going to win. And so far, and I think I'm actually kind of surprised about this, is The Night Circus is winning. I really thought that From Blood and Ash was going to take it. But for now, this is in the lead. So right now, as I'm filming this, The Night Circus is currently in the lead. If it gets overtaken by From Blood and Ash, I'll just read both. That's like the sensible thing to do, is to just read both. But for now, The Night Circus is being added to my TBR. Okay, so that is it for the TBR Cafe. I have a pretty decent sized stack of books for this month, but nothing too over the top, and I'm really excited about like all of these books, so I cannot wait for June to start so I can get to reading. And for the readathon, I will leave the link once again to the announcement video in case you're interested in the readathon. I'm on Team Dreams and Drama Queens, and I cannot wait to get started and win points, and I'm going to probably get super duper competitive with myself during this whole thing. Probably with everyone else too, but mostly with myself because I will want to get as many points as possible. So I may even read more than this, but we shall see. I plan to do weekly reading vlogs for the readathon, so subscribe if you are interested in those, and give this video a like if you enjoyed it. And I will see you very soon with a new video. But for now, take care. Bye!